Now may I request Honorable Member Martin Sangma to take the floor. Martin Sangma. Then may I request Walamiki Sheila to take the floor. May I request Ardent Basaiawmoit to take the floor, please.
Sir, I rise to support the amendment to the motion of thanks. Sir, over and above that, this is the shortest duration of the budget assembly session, and as members, we are now being restricted with the allotment of time, which I feel is very less for us to give suggestion to the government on various issues.
I have to be fair to each and every member, so kindly stick to the allotted time to you.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. But I think I need to express that also. So I can say that this address has given a miss on the number of issues. There was no mention about the commitment on the part of the government on good governance. No mention was also made about the inclusion of Khasi and Garo languages in the age schedule. And there also no mention to deal with the influx, with the problem of influx in the state and many more, sir. Sir, when it comes to the Home and Political Department, the governor had claimed that safety and security of citizens are necessary for the development of the state. But I beg to differ on this issue, sir. During the last 5 years, and also till date, after the same old government took over, people of the state live in insecurity, crimes and lawlessness are on the rise. Almost every day, there was murder, theft, robbery, burglary, and other crimes. People are living with insecurity that in some cases, people were forced to take upon them, as in the case in Shangpung in September 2020, where 4 dreaded criminals were lynched by an angry mob. On the boundary issue, sir, the governor said that the state government is committed to resolve the remaining areas of disputes, including Block 1 and Block 2. As a member of this August House, I am worried about the next phase of boundary settlement. Anything done in haste, ends up in waste. So, sir, the reason I'm saying this is because the first phase of boundary settlement, including signing of the MOU, has not satisfied the people living in the border areas. Many villages in the West Khas Hills and Ribhoi district, which in the past were in Meghalaya, have now gone to Assam. We have seen in the media how the people of these villages have protested against the MOU as they don't want to be under Assam. No doubt the boundary dispute has to be resolved, but it has to be done after tedious and proper process by taking everyone on board. It cannot be done in haste, sir. In the name of boundary settlement, we cannot afford to give away our precious land to Assam. So, as far as the war launched by the Meghalaya police against drugs, I must commend the police for its effort to eradicate the drugs menace from a state in order to save our youth from these dangerous addictions. However, I would like to suggest that stringent measures should be taken against drugs traffickers and peddlers. In the past, we have seen how drugs traffickers and peddlers who have been arrested by police got bail so quickly and easily, and then went back to the business of drugs trafficking. This cycle, I feel, sir, has to be stopped. Drug traffickers and peddlers should be made to face the law. They should stay behind bars for a long period on the Meghalaya Preventive Detention Act or any stringent law, sir. They should pay dearly for their crime. I want the government to give assurance and commitment on this. The state government should also set up its own rehabilitation center, sir, for drugs addicts, because the cost of treating and rehabilitating drugs addicts in private rehab center is very high. We have seen how parents found it hard to afford the money needed for rehabilitating their children who have fallen into this deadly trap. The government should, I feel, take this suggestion very seriously and take it as a part of the war on drugs. So the governor also spoke about the steps taken by the state government to improve the education sector in Meghalaya. I came to know that the state government has constituted the State Education Commission to examine and give its suggestion on addressing the complexities in the education sector right from the school level to the college level. I would suggest that experienced academicians and experts on matter of education should be included in this commission so that it becomes a success and comes out with excellent idea on how to solve the various tangles related to the education sector in a state. So on the urban development aspect, the governor mentioned that construction of an automated car parking facility at Motfront is progressing well. As far as I know, sir, till now, this project has not been started. So I don't understand what the governor means by the word progressing well. I would also like to know from the government the progress made in finding landfill sites for Shillong, Joy and Williamnagar. Sir, on the road sector, many roads in the state are in pathetic condition, and due to lack of time, I don't think I'll be able to give the list of those roads. But we can take, for instance, the Shillong-Sora road, sir. The money of around 12 crore has been sanctioned for repair of this road, but the repair in some portion has been poorly done, sir. So tourists and commuters have complained that they face a harrowing experience traveling to Sora because of the deplorable condition of the road. So the governor mentioned in his speech about the role played by home guards, volunteers in maintaining law and order, traffic duties and emergency situations. But it is sad to know that home guard volunteers have not been paid regularly. There were occasions in the past that they had to agitate to get their dues. The government should look into this matter also so seriously. So as far as commerce and industries are concerned, the government has failed to protect the interests of its own public sector undertaking, such as Mamluk Shera Cement Limited, and even the MECL also is on the verge of collapse if the government is not taking seriously. Nothing much is known about the intention of the government, sir, on the cement factory, which is the rice bowl of the people of Sora. The employees are not getting the salaries regularly, and there are indications that the salary may stop at any moment. The government said that it has difficulty to invest an amount of rupees 190 crore to revive the MCCL, sir. If the government can spend 200 crore for setting up a mall at MTC building in Kandailat, sir, what prevents the government from investing rupees 190 crore for reviving the MCCL at Sora? So we cannot afford to give away the MCCL to any private entity in the name of a joint venture, sir. So on the information and public relation, I would like the state government to make this department a major department as it deals with all publicity works of the government. I would also request the government to start implementing the journalist pension schemes which has been announced in the past. Journalists of our states deserve a better deal of their contributions toward the welfare and development of the state and fighting for the rights of the people. The payment of advertisement bills to media houses should also be done quarterly, and the finance department should make all efforts to clear the advertisement bills regularly as proposed by the DIPR. The governor mentioned in his speech that the recently concluded assembly election in the state was free and fair. The word free and fair, sir, to me in this context are not at all satisfactory. We have seen how money has been used left and right during the last election, and if this trend continues, we will never get the right people in politics and governance. Strong mechanisms, therefore, have to be adopted to check the use of money power during election in order to ensure that elections are really free and fair. So because due to the paucity of time, I don't want to touch on some other issues, but I'm sure that the Honorable Chief Minister will consider the points raised by me in this debate on the Governor's address. With these few words, I resume my seat.
Thank you, Pa. Now may I request Pa Charles Pyngrope to take the floor.
Honorable Deputy Speaker, Honorable Deputy Speaker, sir, thank you for giving me this time. But having been one of the last to speak on the Governor's address, much has already been said about the points which I had prepared. However, let me just add to what has already been said by most of the members of this august House. So I would like to also highlight the law and order situation, where the crimes against women and children in the state have been one of the highest in the country. This, I feel the government has to address effectively on the ground and also take into consideration to ensure social participation to curb this menace. We have now to take on board various stakeholders like the schools, colleges, Dorbarshnongs, women and youth groups, and various religious bodies on the issue of drug menace. Most members have spoken about it, sir, and therefore it is a worrying fact seen that is happening in our state. Now, so we need a much more collective effort, like I've said, and I hope the new initiative being planned under the DREAM project of the government will take these suggestions into consideration. So regarding unemployment, there is a perception amongst the youth that the process of conducting the DSC and MPSC examinations are too long and tedious, and sometimes not transparent also, and tends to border on corruption. Therefore, it should be the endeavor of this government to ensure that such perceptions are removed from the minds of the youth who have applied for jobs in various posts in the state, sir. So we come to the GGM water supply situation. Let me tell you, sir, this Shillong faces a very acute problem, especially in my constituency also. I must appreciate the government for having received many accolades and bonuses for the good work that they have done. But there is a lot to do still, sir, especially in my constituency and some of the villages of Nongra, Lapalang and Pokse. We face a big problem, sir. So there I would like the government to take a serious look into the schemes that have been sanctioned and the JGM schemes which will be undertaken so that this problem of water shortage will not see the light of day. So this is Then we come again, sir, back to what I said earlier regarding the issue of language. This issue, sir, we have deliberated at length in this House, right from the earlier session today also. And I want to impress upon the government of the day to kindly take a much sterner step or positive step to impress upon the central government to include the Khasi and Garo language in the 8th schedule of the Constitution. This has been a resolution that has been passed in the House, and may the MDA government too also take a proactive step on this so that our dreams of having these languages included will be a reality. Now coming to a very pertinent question which none of the members had raised, but perhaps it will come in the course of the session in questions or motions, sir. The question in everybody's mind today is what will happen if the Umiam Dam suffers a major problem. I wouldn't say collapse, but suppose it is unusable because of the present situation. So the government of the day needs to take very stern steps to ensure that overloaded trucks are not permitted to use this place, this dam, for transportation of goods. Because this is the lifeline to Shillong, and once we have a problem there, everything else will suffer, including your power supply from the Umtru or the Umiam generating project. So this, I would urge the government to kindly take a very serious view of this and to ensure that the safety of the dam is protected at all costs. There are people who are traveling, sir, daily from Shillong, Guwahati to Shillong, who are residents of Shillong, and the first thing when they reach the Umiam Dam is, I hope nothing happens to it when I'm crossing it. So this is the problem, this is the fear that they have in their minds. This is one thing our government will have to take serious note and ensure that the misuse or the exploitation of the usage of the dam by unscrupulous truck operators is immediately looked into. And of course, like the Honorable Member from Umsning had mentioned, Dr. Celestine, Ashas, I am nobody's child. They're nobody's child. But they have a very, very big role to play in our society. Therefore, so it was learned that the Ashas across the state were provided with mobile phones to update desired data from time to time. However, there were serious complaints on the quality of the mobiles that were supplied by the government. Now, this information was received that the mobiles were of poor quality and substandard. I would request this government, sir, to kindly look into this immediately to ensure that at least they get the best possible devices so that most of the work which they have to do, irrespective of the incentives they get or not, is at least done with, properly, and we get the desired results. So with this few words, sir, thank you.
Thank you, May I request Dr. Mukul? Oh, he is not here.